I stood back and I was like, me behind the bar, the guys are sitting there. Obviously, sometimes guys used to just come just for my attention, which is interesting to me because I'm like, you came all this way just to sit here. Are you not going to go and dance? But, we're all sitting there. And I just stood back and I just watched. I'm not even going to say watched people. I watched me, because everything everyone was doing is what I used to do. So I was watching myself on that dance floor. And I remember thinking, we look so stupid. Sorry for the S word. But I was like, this looks so awful. Yeah. I did that. And I began to come away from that type of lifestyle.
Yes. We are swimming in a pool of miracles, signs and wonders. God is here. God is here. We are swimming in a pool of miracles.
Shalom to you all from home, and welcome to Testimonies with Gloria Elijah. Today I have a very special guest, a flight attendant. Tell us who you are, where you come from, and testify.
Oh, thank you. Hi there. My name is Angel, and I am a flight attendant. Well, who am I? I'm just a child of God. I am just a girl that loves the Lord. I have many, many testimonies, but today I'll be telling you about how I became a flight attendant.
First, tell us, who was Angel before the Lord?
Oh, she was many things. Oh yeah, many, many things. I knew that I was set apart from the beginning, but I really wanted to fit in with the world. I remember when I was younger and I used to hang out with my friends and we just go out, go to the mall, go shopping, and the guys would always come and try to get our numbers and stuff. And it was so strange because they'll be like, oh, they'll be talking to us. And then, as we're talking, they're like, you look like a church girl. And I hated that because to me, it meant I was boring. I was like a church girl. And that time I didn't really go to church. I was always at home.
They were prophesying.
They were seeing God in me, which at that time I never realized. But they were like, you look like a church girl. And I was like, actually, that sounds so boring. I don't look like a church girl because of what I perceived church girls to look like. But now I embrace it so much. And also I've lived life, I would say.
Would you say that a church girl nowadays, after knowing the Lord and knowing what a church girl could be, you could be powerful, you could be a woman of God and...
Sweets, I am a church girl.
Yes,
I embrace it now.
Yes.
And actually, I get offended if people don't tell me I'm a church girl now. If you like, oh yeah, so what do you do? I'm like, can't you see God in me? Now I embrace it. So now I'm more of a, I am a church girl and I love it. When you tell me like I look like a church girl, I love you.
Tell us about your business.
My business? I just started a business. I'm a fashion stylist. However,
I can see it.
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Now you're testifying. You're prophesying.
Yes.
So, I'm a fashion stylist, which I really do enjoy, but I'm just getting started. So please stay tuned for that.
Can't wait. I'm so excited to see what you can do.
Thank you so much.
Maybe you can style me in Testimonies Glory.
I want to style you all. Including the audience.
That's good.
Yeah, I need you to call me.
And we will provide the details of your business on the screen.
Thank you.
Testify, my sister, how you came to Christ.
How I came to Christ?
Yes.
I've always had the Lord. I feel like since I was little, I've always been protected and shielded. So many things happened from very, very young to a point that I still remember things when I was a baby. Like I remember seeing angels from me crawling. It's as if it's like an outer body experience at the backyard. This was me when I was in Zimbabwe with my grandma. I used to have 2 dogs and they were called Beware and Danger. They were that dangerous. So they used to babysit me. They were like my brother and sister.
Beware.
Beware and danger.
That was your angels, I believe.
They were my everything. I loved those dogs. But anyway, and I always remember this one time I was crawling, we were outside and just across the field I could see 2 people, white people, let's put them that way, all in white.
Wow.
And I see myself as a baby reaching out to them oh my gosh. And they were waving and laughing and they're just walking away. And I always remember that. But that's me as a baby, not even me crawling as a baby. So I've always had the Lord, but I think I came to Christ properly during uni. I remember going out clubbing. Yes, I've been outside. I used to work at a club and I started to feel like I just don't want to go out with friends anymore. And I think a lot of people started to notice my aura. like my movements, like I'll be hanging out with friends because we used to talk a lot, fornication, everything to do with sex. We were there talking a lot of things that we had no business talking about. And so I was like, okay. So we all chilled. So every time I would stand up, because my energy was drained, every time I had useless conversations, my energy would always be drained. So I would stand up and walk away to a point, because there'd be like maybe 10, 15 of us chilling. And all of them realized, like, every time we speak, Angel just gets up and goes to a room. So they all start following me. Like, literally, as soon as I stand up, everyone stands up. Wow. Just to kind of follow me and be like, and my friend would sit on me and be like, where you going? Where you going? Where are you going? And I'm like, I'm going to my room. I just want to chill. It's just, I started to lose the love, the excitement. I mean, I was always known as a church girl, even at uni. Like, my friends were always like, you're just always about God. Every time you ask Jesus. Angel for advice, she just talks about Jesus. And I wasn't even that deep in my word, but I knew my word. And I was like, yeah, because it's the only way I know how to talk. I cannot advise you on anything else apart from scripture. And so I started from there, and then I used to work at a club, and I remember going home, and I'll feel like a stripper, because I used to get tipped a lot. I'll get tips. Wow! So every time I'll get home, I'll literally take off my clothes. Please do not imagine that. Take off my clothes, and money would just fall off, and it was really fun. But I remember this one time, I stood back, and it's like the Lord just said, stand back and just watch. I stood back and I just watched.
Did you know that was the Lord at that time?
Yeah.
That's good.
I feel like I always knew it was the Lord. I always knew God's voice.
So you can hear his voice and know it's him.
Yeah.
Wow.
I always really, really recognized him every time. So I stood back and I was like, me behind the bar, the guys are sitting there. Obviously, sometimes guys used to just come just for my attention, which is interesting to me, because I'm like, you came all this way just to sit here. Are you not going to go and dance? But, we're all sitting there. And I just stood back and I just watched. I'm not even going to say watched people. I watched me, because everything everyone was doing is what I used to do. So I was watching myself on that dance floor. And I remember thinking, we look so stupid. Sorry for the S word. But I was like, this looks so awful. Yeah. I did that. And I began to come away from that type of lifestyle. Yes. And then that's how I knew I really don't want to be part of that world.
Of the world of Satan.
Of Satan. So I just stepped away from it. But that was the beginning of an interesting ride.
But this is why people say, as soon as you come really to Christ, you start hating what is not of Christ. And you start loving what is of Christ.
Agreed.
So that is the time you saw the world from the lenses of the Lord. And you started hating that part.
Absolutely.
Wow, yes. Tell me more.
And my hatred was not towards the people. No. It was, what is that?
Yes.
It didn't make sense to me. I remember going out this one time, and this gentleman, we were all trying to get into this one big club, and he was like so angry. He was a security man. He's like, guys, it's just a party. Go home and turn off the lights and then switch on your phone, and it's like and put on music and party. You can do that at home too. And I remember thinking, oh my God, we're all just trying to get into this one club when we can go home and turn on music and chill. Yes. And then I was like, yeah, this is not for me at all.
This is not your world.
No, I do not do that. So yeah. And
it's good that you learned that is not your world.
Oh yeah, no. It was never my world. I was trying to fit in with the world, but I knew I was set apart from the very beginning. I always knew I was set apart. Yes. I was late for everything. I mean, everything. What everyone was doing, I was not interested. I hated boys. Well, I used to be friends with boys. Most of my friends are boys. Even till now, most of my friends are actually boys. I know people don't believe that men and women can be friends. Yes, we can. My best friend is a boy. And yeah. Are you one of them? I agree with that. No, most of my friends are boys.
From personal experience, I don't believe in that.
Really?
No. But, everybody's different. So I respect what you're saying.
I hear you.
I hear what you're saying, and I respect it, because some people can handle it.
Absolutely. But most of my friends are boys.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. I grew up around men, so it's normal for me. So every time you see me talk to a man, it's not because I want them. It's just I'm used to men. So for me, it's not strange at all. Yeah.
Tell me your testimonies.
So this is very, very interesting. I had a birthday and I was in London. So I went to my cousin's house to throw a big sleepover. So it was like 10 of us in the, boys, girls. Like I told you, my friends are boys. So we had a nice time. We all had like it was really cool. It was a big sleepover. It was just to celebrate me, which was really nice. So everyone came down. And I remember the next day, we all went out to eat. It was really cool. Then when everyone left, it was the day after. Because the next day we all chilled, hanged out, and then everyone went home. And then the day after, my cousin was going to work. I didn't have a job at that time. And so she had left me to my own device. I was at my lowest at that point, actually. I had nothing to live for. Nothing. Wow. Literally nothing. And
Would you say you're depressed?
Now that I look back, I would say yes, but I never knew what depression was because I've never been through such things before. Like even all that anxiety stuff, I used to hear people talk about it and I'm like, what the heck is that? Like, what is anxiety? But anyway, now I know. So, so I was left to my own device at home. And she had said to me, look, the landlord is going to come over. They need to fix the lights. My roommate, two of them, one of them is going to come back and she's with a friend. And the other one, I don't think she was meant to come back, but either way. So I was like, okay. So I was at home and it wasn't a woe with me moment, but it was, I'm fed up with life now. Like it was that point I was like, God, I don't think I want to be here anymore. Not in a suicidal way, but in a, like, feel free to take me now. I'm happy to come home. Like, whatever. I don't know what I'm doing here.
That's when you're not full enough with the Lord. That's when the enemy finds a door and enters your life.
Absolutely.
And gives you thoughts that are not of the Lord, that you are fed up of this life, that you don't want to live this life. And it's when the enemy finds a door open or a window open or a hole open and he enters your life and tries to take over your thoughts.
I know.
Because he plays with your thoughts. But when you are full of the Lord, that's when all those doors, all those holes are shut and sealed. And that is when the enemy cannot enter your thoughts. So would you say at that time you was not full of the Lord completely?
I definitely was not full of the Lord. Okay. I knew my word and I knew the Lord, but because of so many things that were happening around me or with me, I don't think I really leaned on the Lord. I was very, it's all about me. Yeah. Like, this is happening to me. It's not happening for me, it's happening to me.
Yes.
And so I remember that one night, day actually, it was very sunny outside. I remember I was like, you know what, God, I spoke to him and I said, you know what, I'm actually fed up, I'm tired. And so I opened up my laptop. I was typing and then I found Pastor Chris Oyakilome, my favorite man in this whole world. I've got two favorite men in this whole wide world, but he's my ultimate. Yeah. So, and he had a video called Quiet Time. And I remember I just played it because if there's a voice that speaks to me, it's Pastor Chris Oyakilome. His voice speaks to me. Like he speaks to my spirit. He speaks to my whole being, my soul.
It's very important for you to find the correct spiritual father on earth so he can prepare you for the Lord and for your mission. Yeah. And this is the man that prepared you. Oh, yeah. Correct?
I've always had him though. That's the thing. Like Pastor Chris has always been a leader to me. Even if he doesn't know it, but that's fine. So I found that video and I watched it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to try the quiet time. Basically just shut yourself in.
Yes.
Lay down. Don't think about anything. And he said, listen, thoughts will come at you, but try and just remain still and get the thoughts out. So I did it.
The Lord says, be still and know that I am God.
Amen. And that's true. Yeah. And so I was like, okay, I'll try it. And I tried, and I did try for a while because, it takes a while to get in.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, it took a while to get in, maybe like 30 minutes or so, or probably longer. I don't know because I was there for a while. So I was laying there and eventually I got in. So it was so, I can't, it's more real than you and I can touch you and see you, right? But I remember laying there and I just started to hear girls giggling, like, they're like, I can hear,
like a heavenly sound.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, cool. The girl's back. She's back with her friend. This is amazing. So I was like, oh, but I just felt heavy. I could not move for the life of me. I was like, oh, the girls are back. No energy whatsoever. Energy was gone. And then all of a sudden, the door just went, it kind of like opened. But when it opened, like the light just came beaming through, like the sunrise. When the sun's shining in the morning and it's like you see those sunrise.
So would you say that you had a spiritual encounter?
Yes, my sister, this is a spiritual encounter.
Okay, tell me more.
It's actually deeper than I thought. Now that I always look back, I'm like, wow, that was powerful. So I was, so the door cracked open and this light came beaming in, beautiful, like just the sun shining, you know. And I remember looking and I was like, oh, the door is opening. Someone's about to come in. No one came in. And then I started to hear a ladder being put down and then someone walking and two men talking. So I was like, oh, cool. The landlord has come with the men to fix the light, electrician. I was like, cool, they're here. I was like, okay, so when the door opened, my thing was to let them know, hey, I'm in here. So I was like, hello. Exactly how I sound right now. Hello.
With an echo?
No echo. Just, there was no echo.
Yes.
Because, you know, I felt very heavy, but it was not an annoying heavy. It was I just need to rest.
Yes.
You know? So I was like, oh, hello. No one was saying anything. I was like, I'm in here. Not a word. But they were just talking out there. The girls are giggling. They're having a great time. I can hear them. They're having a conversation. Like how girls do, you know?
Yes.
So I was like, okay. And so I was like, oh, no one's listening to me. So I tilted my head back. As I'm tilting it back, I just hear a voice just echo. And it says, Angel. Right? At that moment, I usually cry when I talk about this now, but I'm not going to cry. Girl.
Go ahead, my sister.
So
feel free.
All I had was Angel. And I remember slowly tilting my head back. I was so overwhelmed at that moment anyway, because I was feeling heavy, but a good type of heavy, not a scary heavy.
Spirit of God type of heavy.
Yeah, like I'm in a safe space.
Encounter.
Yes, I'm in a safe space type of heavy. And I remember looking down and then I remember looking at him and I was like, Jesus? That's the thing. You recognize him the moment you see him.
Yes.
There was no question about it. You know how when they say, when you see the Lord, he's scary, you run, or you see angels, it's scary. I'm like, that's not how my God appeared to me.
No, it's not. When you see Jesus, you're not scared.
No.
Maybe the Lord, but the Father.
Yeah.
But when you see Jesus, you feel the peace,
oh
the
my
love.
God.
No?
It was so beautiful. I remember saying, Jesus? And then he had his arms wide open like this. He was the most beautiful man I've ever seen. I cannot describe him to you, but I can tell you he's not black, nor is he white.
Yes, he's Israeli.
Yeah, he was not black, no white, but he was the most beautiful man I've ever seen. And I remember I started talking to him. Just talking. And then I was like, you're too far. And I was so heavy. I was like, you're too far. Please come closer. And I remember looking at the side because we had the sleepover and there was blankets that were like folded on my side. And so I'm dragging myself out of bed because I want to get closer to him as he's coming closer to me. And I fell. Wow. So when I fell, those blankets had been laid down on the floor. So when I fell, I never got hurt.
Wow.
And now he was closer to me. And so my mistake here was I spoke too much. Instead of listening, I really just had a big jab.
As the word says, be still and know that I'm God.
Amen.
So when the Lord wants to speak to you, you must quiet down. Because as soon as you open your mouth at the wrong time, the Holy Spirit is a gentleman. He won't push himself upon you. That is when you need to quiet down and let the Lord work and speak. And that is when he will enter into you and utter words that you've never heard before.
Amen.
Please tell us more.
Yeah, so we had a conversation. He said something and I remember saying to him, God, just give me these things that I'm asking for. I told him everything I wanted to do and what I wanted to be as a person. And eventually he had to go. So he stood up, backed away. Then he looked away. Then he looked back at me, smiled, and then he left. And I remember saying, I just did not want to, I wanted to live with him. It was, I was just like, where are you going?
Like,
you can't leave me in this ghetto. Take me out of this ghetto. I'm done with this earth. Like, take me with you. Where are we going?
Having a spiritual encounter with the Lord.
Yes.
I mean, nobody wants to stay behind afterwards.
No.
You want to go where he's going.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wanted to go. Wherever he was heading to, don't care where we're going. I'm coming with you. So that was my experience. And then, so it took a while to come back because I was trying to fight it, you know? And it took a while, but even after he left, I felt him.
Wow.
Even after he left, I felt it. There was still that glow. And I remember just getting on my knees to talk to him. And I was like, God. And I wrote, because, you always have to have a piece of paper.
Yes.
That's exactly what the video said with Pastor Chris. He said, as you're doing this, make sure you have a piece of paper because God is going to want to tell you something.
He's going to download information into you.
Yes. And if you do not have that piece of paper, he may not trust you with important information. So you need to be able to jot it down. And I remember I quickly wrote everything down. So I still have that. I still have that piece of me.
Powerful.
And so after that, I had some sort of, that was, I would say, a wake-up call. So I woke up and then I lived with a friend of mine during that time. And I remember she said to me, Angel, you love people. You talk to people all the time. I mean, I would sit next to you at the bus stop, Glory. Not that I go on the bus stops anymore, but when I used to, I will talk to you. I don't know you. You sit down, I'm literally like, good evening. Or good morning, or whatever time it is.
But this is what the Lord wants his children to be like.
Yeah, I love people.
To spread the love of God so the people can see the Lord in you. If you don't have love in you, you don't represent the Lord.
Right.
You must have this love that you're speaking about.
I do. I love
continue.
people. Thank you. I love people. So we were like, just, so she was like, you love people so much. I think you should try being a flight attendant. And during that time, I was like, ugh, whatever. Whatever it is, I'll do it. So I did apply to pretty much all of them. And it took a long time. I never looked at my emails, by the way. Never did. After that, I applied and just left it. And then I carried on with my life. Did other things on the side. And then I moved back to my mom's house. And during that time, I remember I was at home broke. I was broke. Thanks. I was broke. And I remember looking at my emails. And I looked at the emails and I'd found there were like thousands of emails. And I found the British Airways email and they were inviting me for an interview.
Wow.
And the thing is, I lived in Kent.
But did you have any experience previous to that?
No. So
would you say it was an interference from the Lord for you to get that position?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's more to come. Yeah, there's more to come. So got the email. And at that time I was living in Kent with my mom. And so I was like, I don't have any money to get down to London for this interview tomorrow morning. 8 in the morning, I have to be there.
So lastminute.com.
Last minute. And this was like...
Last minute miracle, they call it.
Literally. It was like 7, 8 p.m. And I'm looking at my emails and they're saying, come for an interview tomorrow in London. So I was like, I'm in Kent. I don't have any money to get down to London.
Wow.
So I asked my mom. So she gave me attitude and told me she doesn't have any money. I said, okay, cool.
So you didn't have help from your own family?
No, I'm used to that though. And that's okay. Right?
But the Lord provides.
That's the thing, because I don't need...
else.
Yeah, I don't need people. I always need God to put destiny helpers in my corner. So I'm happy with that. I don't hold a grudge, against people that don't help me because God has always made a way. So it's not a hateful
The Lord
thing.
always sends destiny helpers. When you least expect it, he will send somebody to you. Tell us about the miracle the Lord did in your life, my sister.
Oh my goodness. So I told a friend of mine and she was like, oh, I would help you, but right now money is tight. And I was like, okay. But she told my guy best friend and I didn't even tell him. I was at home. I was like, forget it. It's not happening. I'm just going to stay at home.
You gave up?
Oh, yeah. It's when I give up that the Lord takes over. I've noticed that a lot.
But that's when you need to dump all that you have upon the Lord, and that is when he works. That is the time he will take over and bring that miracle to you. So never give up.
I know, that's
Please continue, my sister.
Oh, thank you. So... so then he called me and I was like, what's he calling me? He called me, he's like, and he didn't even say much. He just said, put money in your account, get to London tonight, right now. And then I was like, bet. That was it. That was the end of it. So I got myself to London for the night and the next morning I went there. And
he was the destiny helper and he was the one the Lord sent in your life to perform the miracle.
I love this man.
Last minute miracle.
Yes. I love this man. I really, truly do. So he did that. So the next morning, I'm heading over to do my interview. And I'm not saying I was so hopeful when, oh my God, this is going to happen for me.
So you didn't expect anything of it?
No, I had given up on everything at that point.
Wow.
I was dying in my mind.
This is when you give up.
Yeah.
This is when the Lord steps in and works his miracles. So he may be glorified.
Yeah.
Even though you went there without any experience, without any hope.
Yes.
Desperate. That is what the Lord needed. So he can glorify himself through you.
Amen.
So when people look at you, they will see his miracle in your life.
Yeah.
The Lord is
So good, right?
So good. Please tell us more.
So I was walking in, and I remember there was a girl walking in just behind me and a guy. And this lady that I was right at the entrance, she looked at me straight away and she said, "You're going to get the job."
Wow.
Yeah. And then she looked at the person next to me and she said, "And so are you, and then so are you," looking at the guy. And I remember thinking,
Would you say that was somebody that the Lord
Sent.
was speaking through?
absolutely. Now that I look back, of course.
But did you realize that back then?
No.
But you see now,
Yeah.
you realize it.
I realize it now, but
Yes.
back then I was just kind of like, okay, girl, you know.
But when you got the job, did you think, oh my God, she told me I will get that job?
When I got in that
Yes.
same day, I knew she was right,
Yeah.
because it was the same day that we found out. So now I've walked in, she's told me that, she's told all of us, and we all became friends, by the way.
Wow.
And I remember, as broken as I was, broken, I was a walking shell.
But this is what the Lord works through the broken,
Yeah,
not from the
but you
perfect
couldn't tell,
ones.
because even when people around me are like, "Girl, we couldn't tell at all." I don't know. Maybe I have this front about me
Yes.
that says everything is hunky-dory.
No, you just look like when the Lord chooses you, calls you and chooses you,
Yeah.
you will always look perfect to everybody.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You know?
Love that.
Even though you're broken from the inside,
Yeah.
from the outside, you will look exactly what you're going to become afterwards.
Amen.
Because people look at people that are broke from everywhere, but in the outside, they look rich, wealthy, perfect, beautiful, fashionable.
everyone
But they are
says
broken. Why do they see that person in them? Why? Because this is what they're going to become.
Amen.
You are destined
I receive
for goodness.
it. Amen.